What's going on, good people? Y'all know what time it is. It is TGIF with an extra F. We're not gonna go into the F. Those of you that know, you know, and if you don't know, then you know. There you go. Um, this was it been this week all month, y'all.
Yeah.
This been like we throw it around, and I feel like it's been the longest week of my life. On Tuesday, I wanted it to be Thursday. It's clearly me. You know what I mean? With all the breaks from the holiday and everything. Carolina, what's going on with you?
Man, because you said that, my daughter, we had the storm come through Tuesday, so she was out of school. And then Thursday, I'm looking at the news, they talking about another storm coming, so they gave them a half a day. So I made a post. I was like, man, these kids got more days off, like they got FMLA. Like,
School is a government job, cuz.
yeah, man. So you talk about a long week. I'm like, man, I gotta go back to my supervisor and ask for another day off for some hours. I'm like, man. So you right, boy. It's been a long week.
What about you, Miss Jackie? How are you? How's your week been?
It actually has been good until the last 2 days because we've had bad weather here. And of course, kids are out of school and where I work, they're trying to figure out when kids are out of school, nobody comes to work, right? Because everybody got to
Right.
stay home, just like Carolina was saying, you got to ask for days and time and all that. So, but I'm excited that it's Friday because we're off on Monday as well. So it's a long weekend for me. Absolutely.
Man, I ain't got that luxury.
Mm. And a long time coming. I definitely worked with a bunch of companies that did not recognize Martin Luther King Day, but that's what sick days is for, because we ain't got that many holidays.
That's right.
I mean, I would have took it if I didn't take a day and a half this week. I would have kept with a good excuse for Monday.
I know that's right.
And they put our days together. So we just have PTO. We don't have sick days and vacation days. It's all one thing. So if you take a PTO day, it could be for whatever you want it to be for.
And I'm not telling. Or I might. Ain't no telling.
Yeah, I work. I work
Just
for.
depend on who asked me
That's
Yeah,
and
right.
how upset they are about it.
I work for a small family-owned business, so it's just all that lumped into one. They don't want no extra work and separating it.
Nope. That's right.
Well, they don't mind paying you, because that'd
Yeah,
be the big thing.
Well, if you can find
Is
a good company you work for that pay you and treat you right, that's the blessing.
absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes.
So we're gonna get into our thing, man. We're gonna do a first call. I'm gonna try to do some questions that may be a little new for you, since you are family and you come and join us, every so often here.
oh,
Um,
CS tapping in.
Yes.
okay, what
I
up,
see you.
CS? All right.
What up?
What is something that somebody would be surprised to find out? You don't have to be super personal. Maybe it's a hobby, maybe it's a guilty pleasure dish. What's something that somebody might be surprised to know about you?
I think that I am always afraid to talk in front of people, even on this podcast.
I laugh because you're so good at it, and nobody would really think that. That's real.
Yes.
All right. What's the last book or movie you read? This is hard because I used to be an avid reader, and now
Me too.
I don't read as much as I used to. So, what is, you won't have to say when it was, but what's the last book that you remember reading?
Last book. Oh man, it has been a while. I used to read a lot. I have a whole bunch stacked on my desk. Uh Bottom of the Pool was the
Mm.
last book I read from cover to cover. Probably about 2 years ago, actually. Maybe two. Yeah, about 2 years ago. Really, really good book. You want to look for something for inspiration, get you going, make you have a whole different like way that you look at life. Bottom of the Pool. It's a good
Man,
book.
mine was from Book It. That's probably the last book I ever read was from Book It.
He said, I ain't read a book since they gave me pizza for it.
That's funny.
What's a skill that you didn't realize you had till somebody else pointed it out to you?
Oh wow, these are good tonight. Skill I had. Uh Probably motivating people
Okay.
to move, to do something different or move to the next level.
Okay. That's real. That's real. I think my brother used to ask this question. Do you feel like if you were able to time travel, there's a period you would go to, whether that be future or past?
Oh yeah. Past, I think I enjoyed. I would say I wouldn't mind going back to college, my undergrad. That was fun times. I didn't get in too much trouble. I got in trouble, but not enough to where I wouldn't want to go back.
I'll go back to where the college is at. I ain't going to class though.
No, I don't want to go back to where the college was at. I didn't like the city. I just liked the college.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, those are great experiences, man. I didn't go. I went into the military out of school because I was just schooled out.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be informed and I love to learn new things, but I don't like for you to tell me what those things are.
Or when to go find out, or when to go
Oh,
learn.
yeah. I never. That's a whole nother subject. That's a whole nother show, man. At a young age, I never understood the concept of school.
Wow.
Like, just show me. Once I found out where the library was, I'm straight. I can learn everything I want to learn in this building right here. But that's just me. What's you not balling on a budget? You got the time, you got the funds. What's your cuisine, your dinner choice, location, and cuisine?
I would still do anything seafood. I'd probably just say New Orleans. I mean, that's I can go there and I can eat all day. So I wouldn't think of anything. Yeah, I love seafood. I would just do seafood.
Absolutely. That's my 5.
All right. What's the worst thing your husband ever cooked?
I knew he was going.
My husband doesn't cook.
So what's the worst thing he ever cooked?
He has cooked. No, the bacon was good with me standing there. He has cooked eggs, but he don't cook.
Said, Mr. Side Dish.
Yeah. We know he get paper towels and plastic utensils and all cooking.
That's right. Yeah, he don't cook.
Okay. So what's your favorite pair of shoes that he got?
That he has?
Yeah.
Ooh. I would probably say, and I'm gonna say, I don't know that there's I think they're Cole Haans or something, but they're nice. They're, how like before y'all men used to wear them hard bottom dress shoes, and now they wear those nice that's not tennis shoes, but it's like soft bottom, like they're
soft loafers. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they're those. I like those.
Okay. Blue crab or crab legs?
Crab legs.
Yeah, blue crab be work.
Yeah.
You got to work it out though.
But they're good. But I would crab legs first.
All right. One of my infamous questions: lemon pepper chicken wings or lemon pepper turkey wings?
Lemon pepper chicken wings. I don't think I've ever had lemon pepper turkey wings. I'm gonna have to go make some on Sunday.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Treat yourself.
Yes.
Our dad does it for Thanksgiving. He don't even cook the whole turkey no more. He just do turkey and it lasts probably about 10 Thanksgivings. Just not with the turkey.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to make some.
My last one. Ooh. You go to amusement parks?
Yes.
All right. So I don't know if you've seen it on TikTok and all that. So we gonna do the drop zone. Take you up and just drop you, or the one that just passed you out.
Neither.
Yeah, I think it's such a thing as just. Do I believe it's safe? It's obviously safe because people do it. Do I
Yes,
believe something could go wrong?
Yes.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yes.
My blood
And
pressure
that's just
won't
too
handle either
fast.
one.
I
No.
seen too many grown men turn to 4-year-old babies without their mama on some of them rides.
Yes.
I don't
We
know
heard.
what's worse,
We
if you cry or if you pass out.
listen.
I
We
don't know
heard
what's
our
worse yet.
son cussing. I think he was like 8 or 9. And he was up there. I mean, he was going. And I said, and then when he got off, I said, "You was up there cussing, wasn't you?" No, 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 ma'am, no, ma'am. Yes, you were. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not doing it.
He
Mm-mm.
probably peed a
Fear
little.
do something to you, cuz.
Yes, yes.
Fear do something to you.
So I went to the mountains recently, and the first time I drove to the mountains, I think I had an anxiety attack. I was in the passenger seat panicking. I ain't never panicked in the passenger seat. And I went back in this. We went in December, and I thought I was gonna be able to do it because I didn't experience it the first time. Man, I don't know if you ever been to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, in the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
but depending on where you go, you're going up the mountains on a curvy, windy road with no guardrail. And you got 18 wheelers, you got people that live there just flying down the road. I'd be like, man, my palms was sweating. I'm trying to turn that. I said, "You hot?" She was like, "I'm sweating." I'm so nervous.
You was the passenger?
No, I was driving this on the first time.
Oh, you were driving.
Oh, the first time I was on the floorboard gripping the door pin. I almost ripped the door pin off. I almost incredible the door pin the first time. I said, slow down. She was like, I'm going 15 miles an hour. We went and going up the mountain, we got there and it was dark.
Uh-huh.
So there's no guardrail, there's no light post, and it started snowing.
Yeah. That's a hell of a vacation to choose if you're going to be scared going.
Well, that was the first time. So the second time, I made it my job to get up there before it got dark.
Got dark.
But now I can see the bottom.
Nah, it don't be no less scary, man. But you know what I figured out? I'd rather do it by myself. Because if I do it by myself, I got tunnel vision. I ain't got nobody talking to me if they got anxiety to increase my anxiety. You know what I'm saying? So I've done it several times. But the times that I've done it with people in the car, it make you want to throw their ass out. I ain't gonna lie.
You know she hit me with the don't look up.
Say what?
I can't even go in a lighthouse. You ever went up in a lighthouse?
Nah, I don't do heights now. I ain't
Listen, I got to the second or third level. The whole family, everybody going up, right? Everybody going up. I said, whew, my chest getting a little tight. I said, I'll catch y'all in a minute going up, right? They just kept going. I think my daughter came back down and she was like, Mom, come on, I'll walk with you. I said, wait till all the people, because it's like this. First of all, it's narrow, and then you're going up. And I'm like, nah, y'all go ahead and experience it. I'm gonna wait right here. Man, I got hot. I started taking off undoing my shirt. Nah, I can't do it.
I would have had no Bambi legs. My legs would have been shaking like Bambi.
Not me. I just know what I could do, and I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going on no slingshot. I'm not going in no submarine. It's just certain things that you're not gonna get me to do. You feel me? Because I have no interest in it.
We did. My husband and I, we went. A friend of mine, when we had got married, he was like, "Y'all come up to Atlanta. We gonna hang out." Well, he said, "Be up the next morning by 6 a.m. and wear something comfortable, shorts, whatever." Man, he took us to Tennessee, whitewater rafting.
I'll do that.
When I tell you, I hollered, called on Jesus the whole time.
Yeah.
And my husband, woo! I mean, he having a good old time. Get me off of here.
Well, you know what? There was a time I would do it. I don't think I'd do it now. There was a time
8 years ago, and I will never do it again.
Yeah. Nah, man. It's I think that's the new thing, man. In terms of like, over the last few years, we've seen so much crazy depressing, wild, outlandish shit. I think the world is finally letting up a little bit. Not that all the ills are gone, because you got the situation in Mississippi where it's just a whole landscape full of that people that love are missing. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not. Oh, the prison behind the
The
prison
prison
thing.
burial guard,
Yes,
the
yes.
burial ground. But ultimately, we need to be in a we want to be in a better place.
Mm-hmm.
We want to be able to get back to fun again. We want to be able to get back to not being so serious. Now, you can never be disillusioned,
Right.
but I feel like this will be a good year and a positive year. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel. How you feel about the prospects of 2024?
I actually think it's going to be a great year. I think it's going to be like we were, like almost like a turnaround time. It depends on how you embrace it as well. But if you embrace it from a positive way, I think it's going to be that. I think it's almost like with COVID, how you were able to come on the other side and come up better and look at things brighter. I think we have the opportunity to do that again in 2024. Yep.
So go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think we're gonna have our bad situations, but I think people are just tired.
Right.
Like I think a lot of people just don't want to. I think they're not gonna fight as much. Just like you said, just relax and try to have fun because you never know what's coming back around the corner. And I think as a whole, people understand that. Like I said, we're gonna have our situations and our people that you're gonna hear on the news that did something that's unspeakable. But overall, I think
the people that want to be in a good space will be in a good space.
Yeah. I think the mental health. I think the mental health push these last couple of years is really going to settle in. As long as nothing crazy happens in 2024, like there's no COVID-24 or some new.
Well, let's not talk it up.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nah, I really feel that way, man. We need to poke some holes in this inflation. We need to get people back. At least give us the illusion that you want us to be here. That's what we need to get this year. We need to get the pursuit of happiness back. You feel me? Because I think that's been missing.
That's a little tough from a financial side, but again, I think it's what you make it and how you set your boundaries in your life. But we may feel a little hiccup in the next 4 or 5 months, but again, it's about what you do with it. It doesn't have to be the end all, because I think it's just going to turn the corner for us, and the latter year is going to be better.
Absolutely. So we were talking about some things before we came on that are important. Y'all know we like to kick it, we like to have fun, and we're going to do that. But we also got to bring y'all a message, educate you on things that you may not know about. So go ahead, Jackie. Go ahead and give us a breakdown of what we were talking about. I don't quite know how to introduce it, but I can't wait to learn more about it.
Oh, absolutely. So we were having a pretty good conversation. I was sharing that I was asked to do a talk a couple of months ago about financial abuse. And every time that, you all have had me on, we're always talking about financial wellness and different things and how you save money or how you pay off debt and all those things. Well, when I started researching the financial abuse, the angle that we came from, it was a women's event. The angle that we came from, we talked about financial abuse directly related to domestic violence. Now, let me just say this. I am not a counselor. I'm not an expert at domestic violence. I just can talk to you about the side on the financial side. So what we found, or what I found, is that domestic abuse normally has signs. You can see someone being, abused physically, but financial abuse does not. And so it really has no marks and no bruises, but it happens in 99% of the domestic violence cases. And so what does that mean? It basically means that the abuser is controlling the finances of the individual. And why is this important? Because not so we can talk about so much domestic violence, but so that we can start identifying, our daughters or our sisters or, aunties and, whomever that may be in this situation so that we can help them. When we were talking, one of the things that somebody said was, well, how do you know when somebody's being controlling in that aspect? And what I tell them is, when you, and we see this all the time, this is kind of funny, but it's not. But when you see, like your young daughters and the boys are always driving their cars and they can't get to work because the boyfriend's controlling, or when she get off, she got to give up the money. Those are signs of financial abuse. And people don't understand. We think it's like, oh, well, she's letting him drive her car, or she's letting him stay at her apartment for free. All of those things lead to bigger things. And those are the things that we need to talk about tonight and be on the lookout for.
That's kind of that's one of those things. I think, like you said, everybody's seen it, and we never knew how to title it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah, we never knew it was a title because you don't put in a name with something that you can't really see.
Right.
And so no one thinks about that. But when you think about financial abuse, like two major signs is, when the abuser is limiting the victim from their money or accessing their money, or when they're sabotaging their life. When I was doing this talk and this lady spoke up and said that her husband literally used to lock her in the house and take her keys. And he had his own car, but he would unconnect her battery in her car. And who's gonna get out of the house and go run and say, Carolina, look, I missed work today because my husband, took the battery out the car and then he locked me in the house, but I was able. No one wants to tell that story.
Yeah,
so
I think it's either a reel on YouTube or TikTok or both or whatever, where I don't know if it was divorce court or what, but there was a man and a woman there, and this lady was giving her grown husband, $25 out of his check.
Yeah, I've seen that.
From week to week. Now, I have no issues with you managing my money.
Right.
But $25?
What you're not going to do is give me $25. And I'm glad you said that, because people often think it is the woman that is always the victim. And really, it can be the man as well. I mean, you that man works all day and every day, and you only give him $25 of his money.
Right.
What else are you controlling? Because that's what it is. It's a control thing.
Right.
Yeah. I've always thought people, men and women, I always thought they was weak when it comes to demanding money from the other person. I don't care if that's your side piece, that's your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, or whatever. I just feel like when you demand money from somebody else, technically your husband don't know what you go through every day sitting in the office, regardless of what you do. He does not know exactly what you go through every day. Now, you might come to the house and explain to him, honey, I had a bad day because this representative or this bank or whatever, but he doesn't know exactly how you feel for those 8-9 hours at work, or even when you get off, how you feel. So demanding money from somebody that's worked for it, nah. I just always saw that as disrespectful. Like I said, it doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman. I just always find that this way, because you do not know what that person goes through. Like I always tell the old lady, like, we got our joint account. Whatever you do with your money, you do with your money. There's no way I'm gonna say, hey, don't do this or don't do that. Right. Now I might suggest it, but I'm not gonna say, no, you can't do this or can't do that, or I need your check for whatever reason. No, we're gonna make these bills work, but you still need that financial freedom to do what you want. If you want to buy some gum or a dress or a shirt, mentally that might make you feel good. So I'm not trying to take all your money, and I would want that same respect in the end.
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely. And those are the things that you have to discuss at the beginning and all the way through a relationship, because things change. What happens if the husband loses a job or the wife loses a job? You still have to talk about those things. But so many people, all they want is like a relationship. Let me get in this relationship, and then hopefully he's going to be good. We talked about before early on in a couple of different shows how all of us grew up military brats, right? And how our fathers were by the book and did certain things. And my dad used to always say, like, there's just certain things you don't do when you get in a relationship with a guy. Like, you don't go and put them on your credit cards, and you don't go do these things, because what happens if you get one that don't want to work or want to run your credit up? That too can hinder you from moving on, because now you are a victim because they have ruined your credit.
Right.
And
it's far beyond the relationship. It can be far beyond. That's if you're able to get out of the relationship. That's right. Something that's going to affect you for the long run.
That's right. Absolutely. And when you just said, if you're able to get out of the relationship, believe it or not, with financial abuse, that is the number one reason women or whomever go back to their domestic abusers, is because they now have no way to take care of themselves. And right. So, I'm going to leave because he's violent, he beats me or whatever. But if he's ruined your credit or controlled your money all the time, or wouldn't let you work, or only gave you a little bit of money just to go to the grocery store, then how are you going to maintain a lifestyle outside of him? And most of the time they don't, so they go back.
My brother said at one time before in the past that, like, relationships now are like business transactions, and nobody wants to leave that in debt.
That's right.
Everybody wants to be on a positive, regardless if they walked in with nothing. Mm-hmm. They want to leave with more than they walked in, which is fine. But some people are trying to do it excessively, and that's that's the bad part. Like, if you got some people, like, let's say you were down and out and you get a relationship and that person helped you get your credit right and all this other stuff. Some people want that in return because they're leaving you or you left them. Like, you can't get that shit back.
That's right. But
they want it back, and then you start getting the excessive child support rates or the alimony or something. Mm-hmm. I knew a guy that worked with me. He made good money at the time. He was paying his wife. They got a divorce. She worked for a law firm, so they helped her out with all the legal education. So as long as she never remarried, she got $1,000 a month. He had been divorced her over 10 years,
and she's still getting it.
He's still getting $1,000 a month.
I mean, it's always gonna be them niche people, man. Like. And you hope they skits, man, but people that take money from you took $5,000 from somebody, you took $10,000 from somebody. Are you nuts? Married or not?
That's right.
Like, that's too much to not have a conversation about. It don't even matter what you was gonna go do with it.
Right.
Now, if you're in a situation where you are being abused, you're not being allowed to live your life, and that abuser, you find a way to get a lump sum of money out of them to get your freedom, I salute that. Whatever you got to do. Right. But if you're going to get a BBL, we about to fight, cuz. And I know you're talking about domestic violence, but this is a regular dispute.
Yes.
Right. That's stealing. It's egregious. And we kind of live in a world now where in most facets of life, there's some kind of control. There's some kind of superior. There's some type of subordinate. You feel me?
Yes.
But you should not make it hard for people to live. You know what I mean? And I don't want my mother, she's good. She's grown. Her life has probably not been all roses, but she good. You feel me? But I wouldn't want my nieces to come to me talking about, they lights is off or he took my car out. Man, you are about to see somebody that's gonna make your life a problem.
That's right.
So I think it's good to help identify. I think the problem that we run into is kind of like what you talk about as far as reasons that they go back.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as we love these people, as much as we want to see them do well, is dealing with the potential disappointment of not being able to help them, whether we can identify it or not. That's the part that hurts me.
Is it that also, or is it like financial literacy? Is it, I really don't believe in generational curses just because we all have choices.
Yes.
We all have choices now. Are you basing your choices off your past history where, well, shit, my mom went through it, she got over, so I'm gonna make these same bad choices? That's not a curse. That's you just making a bad choice.
But no, some of it is legit. Some of it is legit control. I heard crazy stuff like, I mean, even in like The Color Purple, because Celia not being able to go to the mailbox, that's real for somebody.
That's right.
That's what I'm saying is that's real, but there's also a sense of what choices down the line have you not corrected in yourself?
Well,
what I'm saying is, like, I'm talking about like accountability when it comes to certain stuff. When it comes to your choices, taking accountability. Like when you go back to a bad situation, you're not holding yourself accountable because you're saying, well, I get through it, or I don't have $500. If they were only giving you $25 and you got $500 by yourself, technically you are up. You might not be able to pay your bills, but I'd rather get beat by the bank than physically and mentally beat by this man or this woman.
And a lot of times, what happens is, and it starts, I think, early on as a choice, but then the mental part of it, right, and the mind games and all these things that happen. I mean, think about it. Some of these ladies, when we were talking about this, they were actually telling true stories of, not just he took the battery out of my car, but one lady was talking about he would come on her job and like, I need to make sure you're there, and she would never know when he would show up, but he would show up with like flowers or something. So her coworkers are thinking, oh my God, he's so sweet. But she's sitting there palm sweating because she's thinking, if I'm not in place when I get home, it's going to be a problem. And so even though like they work and early on they have a choice, but by the time they start playing with the mind games and those kind of things, it then becomes they lose themselves. And then how do you get past that? And what do you do? And so, a lot of times they leave, they can't get a house, they can't get an apartment because they've messed their credit up. They've got legal issues. And then if they weren't making any money, or the person was keeping all their money and they got children, now, okay, well, I'm going to take you to court because I want the children. Well, if I ain't got no money to fight you in court, I may as well go back to you so that I can still be with my children. That is like some of the crazy, and I didn't even realize like how much the financial part of it affects everything else until I did a deep dive and started looking at this. And do they have a job? Can they keep a job? Because the crazy fool is coming on the job looking for them or getting them fired from the job. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I never understood getting your partner fired from a job. Like, I just never understood like why men or women would get their partner fired, whether y'all are relationship partners or husband or not husband, mother, father. He can't pay child support if you get him fired from his job.
Right, that's right. You can't pay child support if I get you locked up, right? Like, what's the purpose in locking you up and then you still can't pay me? So,
but even still, that's the system, because sometimes it don't even be the baby mama. It's that she did what she thought was right, and it might be right in a certain situation by going to take this, child support out. But some men, like you say, accountability. Some men don't make the right choice.
Right.
But some men out here just struggling to get by. And he getting picked up because he got a out license plate light, and now you ain't gonna get no child support again.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gonna come out of court and he got to spend court costs and spend more money.
Yep.
So it's always tough to see anybody in a situation where they're not being treated fairly, where they're not being treated humanely. What are you said you looked at some numbers. Are there anything surprising statistically that you were able to see?
I mean, just the main one, just that 99% of every domestic violence is also there's financial abuse in that relationship. That was the biggest thing, just because understanding, how many women get out and all that. I don't know. I don't know if there's anything out there. I didn't really see anything out there on that, but it was just really how many people. And then it said like pretty much like for every 4 people or for every 4 women, 2 of them have been or are in a domestic violence relationship. And that means, I mean, there's 4 sisters and, there's 4 of us, 4 females. That's saying that 2 of us either have experienced it or are living in it, in the 4 of us that are in our family. And so I know my older sister, they tried her, but she fought back. So that wasn't happening. Like she'll tell you quick, yep, they was taking me because I had already jumped on him. Like that's not good.
Right.
Yes.
I wish more sisters had that fire, or if not the fire, just the understanding of this ain't gonna get better. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That shit rarely gets better. You want to have faith in people, you want them to be better than what they are, whatever. That's just a situation, like, I don't know the statistics, but rarely gets better. It mostly escalates, and it's tough enough to live that for yourself. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's more or less
no,
like.
I was just gonna say, I can tell you what I did find is they tell you how to prepare to get out, right? And so some of the steps they talk about is that you must prepare an exit plan. Like you've got to, because if you just up and say I'm gonna leave and you've got no money stashed away and nowhere, no really place to go and that kind of thing, that's another reason you go back. But when they talked about how to get out, it was like, first you got to decide that you're going to leave. Then you got to make sure you have documentation and reading this information. Documentation meaning you going to take, if you have children, their social security cards, birth certificates, you're going to make 4 or 5 copies and give them to people that you hope you can trust, or go open a safe deposit box or do something like that to put that information in. Because a lot of times you think, oh, I can go trust my mom, but you run away to your mom's house and then he come over there and he go to crying and, oh, I'm a good person. And then mom like, oh, she right in the room over there. Not knowing that you finna go home and get your tail beat, right? And so you got to make sure you have documentation. You got to be able to create an emergency fund, start putting some money away, even if it's $10 here or there. Man, this lady stood up and said the only way she was able to save money was her husband used to give her certain amounts to go to the grocery store every week. And she would go to the grocery store and she started realizing, because one time she went and bought something and he didn't like that. He didn't like that brand or whatever. So she took it back to the store. What he wanted was cheaper. So when she took it back to the store, the difference they gave her back, she kept. So she started every now and then going to the store, buying things that she knew he was going to ask her to take back. And so slowly but surely she started, accumulating money. But the other thing they said was explain the situation if you work to your manager or your HR person. Let them know so that if they do start coming in there acting crazy, or if you leave the job and leave the house, and then now he comes looking for you, they know not to give out information. Protect your personal information. Make sure you access your credit report to know what you have. So all of those things were some of the things that they need to do to prepare to get themselves out. And they basically it's just to have a plan.
Well,
Absolutely.
it's not crazy, but the fact that you said tell your job, because I've seen people, not seen personally, but heard stories of people come to the job, crazy boyfriend, crazy girlfriend. But if you don't want to tell your family members what you're going through, are you going to tell HR?
It's tough, man.
It's hard. I mean, sometimes it's the people that aren't close to you that you would probably more want to confide in, because your family gonna say, "Oh, you crazy," or "We see him and he treats you right," or "He's good to the kids." Especially old school, stay with your man. No, I'm not doing that.
Right. Now, one of the things that you said, I think the most impactful thing you said is acknowledging that you want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I watch a lot of different things, man. And there was this guy out there. He's a humanitarian. He does a lot of community work in terms of like natural disasters and things like that. And they was like, "Well, what gave you that kind of calling?" And he was like, "Man, I don't know, man." He's like, "Truth of the matter is, I don't know what I'm gonna do a lot of times until I get there. It's more important for me to move. We'll figure that shit out once I get there." And in a situation like what we're talking about now, acknowledging that you want to leave is definitely going to be the most important step. And then after that, your plan, you want a solid plan. You do. But like anything else in life, sometimes you just got to go. Everything is not always going to line up perfectly. And I'd rather you do the best to preserve yourself than to try to find the perfect time.
That's right.
Because that doesn't always work out, man. I mean, this is definitely a needed conversation. It's definitely, I know people that have been impacted, men and women. I'm not going to sit here and say it on one side. I have seen some of the craziest shit when it comes to, like, people would just assume that because you're a man, you can man up and handle your business. And every man ain't built the same. That's right. Why one of the things that we talked about as we was end of the year is things that we wanted people to stop saying or doing. Stop telling people what a real man or a real woman is.
Wow.
Because you don't know. We all capable of everything.
Everything.
We are all capable of it. The best of the best and the worst tragic of the worst tragic.
Yes.
We are all capable of anything. So this is much needed. If you are a friend of mine, if you are, well, my family already know. This is a conversation we have on a regular basis. I'm the one. Don't nobody got to worry about nothing too crazy. I'm gonna tell you right now, keep your bail money. I meant to do it. So don't mess with my nieces, don't mess with my family, and we good. But you hope it don't come to that. You hope that the people you love are able to see the signs. And I think that's an important conversation, is not overlooking the things that'll put you in this situation.
That's right. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? A little jealousy is cute. A little bit more jealousy is crazy. Just a little bit more than a little bit you like is crazy.
That's right. That's right.
So have you ever been in, like, just throughout, not your husband, just now that you see signs, do you think you overlooked it in your past with whoever you was dating or talking to?
Oh yeah, I could see signs in previous relationships for sure. You know, like for example, I dated someone and oh well, my credit ain't right. Can you add me to your credit card? Or can you help me get such and such? Or let me drive your car? Or all these little
Jody.
things. Yeah, I mean, and there are signs. You know what I'm saying? There are true signs, and one of the things I would say, like if you've got younger people or people who've never been in this situation, like you're saying, but don't add people to your credit card. Don't get credit cards and things in your name in their name for them. When you get life insurance, and this is something for people that are married too, but if you get life insurance, you need to be the insured and the owner of that policy, because there's two different things. You can be the insured and not own the policy, and guess what'll happen when you if I'm the insured and my husband owns the policy. If we divorced and I go our separate ways and I'm thinking, oh, I got this insurance policy, I'll just keep paying on it. No, he owns it. So
Right.
he can stop paying on it. He can continue to pay on it. He can continue to pay on it and have a whole nother family, wife and everything. And I pass away and they all live in large because of my insurance money.
Mm.
So though, even that, make sure that you are not, there's just certain things that you should just not do. Just certain things you shouldn't do.
And it's tax season. It's big during tax season.
Boy, look.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, y'all excuse me for just a quick second. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but you hear tax. It's tax season. You hear tax stories all the time. Somebody took their social security number. The man went to go do the taxes, and the old lady done did it, and vice versa. It's sad that we're in the world now of, especially now the economy going bad. People are out there doing it now. Of taking people's financial freedoms from them. We did a tax episode last week, but we didn't get into this. But just because you said it, it goes along with it. People taking people's financial freedom during tax season because everybody's in a rush to do it.
Yep.
So it's who gets it done first.
These women that have children that are single, they get more boyfriends during tax season. If any other time of the year they gonna get a man, that man is going to gravitate towards them during tax season. Look, she finna get 8, 9 bands. I'm finna now I love you, right? Now I want to spend time with you. Now let's go do this. And next thing you know, you done spent half of your tax return on the dude, and then when all the money's gone, he's gone.
Yep. I listened to a podcast. It wasn't a podcast. It was a snippet, obviously, on TikTok. And this guy's talking. He's talking relationships, and I really hate those podcasts and they talk relationships because they always want to say what everybody should do when everybody's situation is not the same. But he was referencing saying he's raised his daughters to, before they even date a man, to find out his job, what he does, how much he's making. He's trying to say look for a good man. But
right.
with saying that, it also goes into what you're saying, because if you base your relationship on this man that has a good, stable financial background, what if he gets possessive?
Right.
Like, you fall down that rabbit hole if you're trying to figure out what a man does and how much he's making. He said before the first date.
Yes.
So,
but that's his money. That's not your money. And then when you want it to become your money, you gotta take what comes along with that. Him being controlling, him, telling you in the controlling aspect what you can wear, what you can't wear, where you can go, where you cannot go. But if you have, and I'm not saying that, as a female, you walk in, I got my own and I don't need you. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is be able to put yourself in a position where if he starts showing his behind and becoming controlling and want to beat on you or whatever, hopefully that you have enough of your own to move on. And a lot of times, it's unfortunate. Speaking from a woman's standpoint, we have to begin to know who we are and love ourselves before we love somebody else. Because then when you love yourself enough, hey, I love myself enough that I don't want nobody to beat on me. I don't want these things to happen. But a lot of times, and this is just me hearing some of these ladies and their stories, because I've never been in that situation. So, a lot of times they were like, they just had low self-esteem, or they had, just different things in life that happened that knocked them down, and they just didn't feel that they were worthy enough. So here comes this guy that's pumping them up. He's only pumping you up to push you back down. So you've got to be able, if you're going to break the cycle, you've got to be able to know yourself and love yourself enough.
Also, and also the importance of every man don't abuse you with his hands.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It's up to you. Everybody got they ceiling of what they can deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But like we said, like baby boy, like Jody, like just sitting around the house, that's abuse.
Yes.
Him just knowing you gonna come home, knowing that the refrigerator gonna be full, knowing that he gonna drop you off at work and do whatever he want to do all day in your car. Now, a lot of times those signs are they'll unveil themselves. But also, again, having enough self-love and respect for yourself to get yourself outside of that situation.
Right.
I don't.
Your viewers just said it starts with your upbringing. I saw her statement, and that is very true. I remember our dad used to tell us, like, it got to the point where you got all these daughters, and it's like, well, we don't need to get married because our dad taught us this, and this, and if you weren't coming with the standards that he set, then we weren't even trying to go down that rabbit hole with you or whatever. But I do think it starts with your upbringing, especially with men who have daughters, having that relationship with them, building it up, talking to them, letting them know, hey, I got a dad. I don't need you to give me money because I got a dad. I don't need, like, if my dad doesn't talk to me in that tone, why am I going to let you talk to me in that tone? So I agree with, I don't remember her name, but definitely starts with the upbringing.
Absolutely, man. This is it's super dope. It's a lot of information. The conversation is dope. I don't think we got to be in more scenes where we talk about the real things that go on in people's lives and talk about it in a real way. Again, if you're a friend of mine and you in a bad situation, I ain't got all the answers, but I almost guarantee you I can help you change the situation.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And even if it's not just me, because I'm going to seek some help. I'm barely living over here myself. So, but if you in that bad a situation, I know people that can make things happen. And you know people that can make things happen as well.
That's right.
That's
a good point about the, knowing people, being connected to people and the right people. There should be nothing wrong with if I'm coming through South Carolina and I got an issue and I know that y'all are 30 minutes from where I am, I know that I can call y'all, right? Without a doubt. You coming this way, hey, you know what? Or someone, Carolina, your daughter may be in Alabama and going to school or anything. Oh, I got somebody. You make sure you connect with Jackie, because if you need anything, she's got you. That's how we should do things.
Absolutely.
That's exactly how we grew up. Our dad told us. He taught us that, and that's basically how the platform came about. Like, just sitting around here listening to the old men, have each other's back, listen to conversations. But I wanted to ask, like, do you have the hotline phone number or websites that people can tap into for information, or they can go to for support?
So there is, I do know, and this is a really good thing, Allstate, the insurance company Allstate, they have on their website, and I'm trying to see if I have it. Let me see if I have it with me. Allstate has an entire part of their website dedicated to this topic, financial abuse, and it's called. They've even done a separate nonprofit called the Purple Purse that people can tap into. They have videos on the Allstate website talking about financial abuse, people giving their stories and their testimonies, how they got out, ways, and here's some different connections. I don't have the phone number in front of me, but it is the
Just text it to my brother so he can get it up. Domestic violence hotline number is 800-799-7233.
Yep. And that's the one you want to call. But if you're looking for just general information, they even under the Allstate website, they even have some different financial booklets and different things to help you, show you how to save money, do different things, how to fix your credit. All that is on there, and they do a really, really good job with this.
And your local and city, county, those departments, there are special programs. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason that you have to sit in silence.
That's
bruises right. Or no bruises. If you are not being treated fairly, if you are not being valued, and you feel some kind of way about it,
that's right.
Make a plan to exit.
And there are tons of places that I know here in Tuscaloosa, and I know in Jacksonville as well. There are places, once you go seek help, either through the police or whomever, there are houses that will take you and your children in that no one even knows the address to, because they don't want the husband to find out. And I'm not sure if C. Hess is still on here, but he did a really good podcast as well about domestic abuse. And I think he touched briefly on financial abuse, but he's another one that is out there talking about this platform as well, and did a really good job.
C. Hess a real one, man. Fun, but ultimately super high intelligence, super thoughtful, thought provoking with his content, man. Y'all check out I can't never when it's time to say it.
Oh, Motivated Minds.
Motivated Minds. When
yes.
I go to his videos every day, and when it's time to say it, it might be this whiskey though.
That's that too.
Because of the whiskey.
No, you know, whiskey. That's gravy, mashed potatoes.
No.
But
Okay,
I think all of you all do a great job of just, and I put it on my Facebook earlier, just good conversation, you know, and bringing, and no matter how much we laugh or whatever, there's always something that you can take back from definitely, you know, the BOTB show. And it's not a lot of podcasts out there that are just kind of real. And this is why I enjoy, you know, talking with you guys. And again, when we just talked about, you know, Motivated Minds, even on his, C can go a little deep, but he's probably listening. He can go a little deep, but he always has some really good topics and things that need to be talked about. So
yeah, charge it to my mind and not my heart, man.
That's right.
Yeah, Motivated Minds, man. Like I said, very intellectual, he's got a lot of knowledge on different things that concern the community. And if you're looking for answers to a situation that you might be in, hit that man on Facebook. I'm sure he's going to give you some diamonds to walk away with. I'm sure he's going to give you some tools to accomplish whatever you went to him for.
Absolutely. And so we will we'll get my my husband on here so y'all can chop it up as well. But I always enjoy this and will definitely share. But this topic tonight was probably a little bit heavier than what we normally do, but I definitely think it was worth it. And if we can just help one person, definitely. And then also, to bring awareness for those that have daughters and those kind of things. And Carolina, I'll tell you, I used to tell my daughter's dad, I said, listen, I need y'all to have a relationship, you and her, so close that I get jealous, because then I know that she is going to be all right. And I will tell every man that I know that has a daughter, to have that, build that relationship with her, so she don't have to go through and deal with some of these knuckleheads that are out there.
Yeah,
or at least be able to recognize them.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, I don't like the oldest. I got an older one and a younger one, and I don't tell her like look for a man that got with her. I just find somebody that wants to walk a path. Like you got some people that want to do right and they're a good person. They just want to excel more. Those are good dudes.
Right.
They're not acknowledged. But those are good dudes. You got dudes out here that want to be a teacher for a reason, but because teachers don't make like enough money, they're not as advertised as saying they're a good man.
Yes, right.
But those are good men walking a path that want to do something like those dudes are good. The guy, that sanitation guy, that's a good dude. He works for the city. He's getting certain benefits. He's getting like those are good people. But those people aren't. When people do a list of men with good jobs, is a job really good? Because you can lose it tomorrow.
That's right.
I think Amazon just fired 500 people, most of them from Twitch, from the Twitch app. These jobs that are saying are good jobs, whether men or women, don't go after the people for their jobs. Just go after people that are good. I'm a God-fearing man. A man that just because he's in church don't mean he's a good man. But if he's in church and he's trying to do right and do good, that's a good man.
That's right. Yeah. And we have to, it's not what they see on TV. It's not what they see on TikTok or Instagram.
Tyler Perry movies.
Tyler Perry movies. Yes.
Those guys are horrible. Those guys can't act. They all light skinned with fake good hair.
I'm not even talking about the acting. I'm talking about the character.
Sprayed in it.
Well, I'm talking about the actor and the character. They are all horrible. They the same dude.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm sure Tyler paid him well, but
yeah, he do.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gonna find a Denzel or Samuel L. Jackson or somebody like that. So you gotta go. You can take the Tyler Perry version. Ain't nothing wrong with the Tyler Perry version.
Nope.
Yeah. I got a PSA for the people that might run across this video, man. It is ugly people season.
Yeah.
Understand? 2024 taxi. It is ugly people season.
It's ugly.
Do not be taking advantage.
I'm gonna write this
With
down.
this-
Ugly people season.
It's not just tax season. It's ugly people season.
Yeah.
Don't let these people take advantage of you.
It's tax season, Valentine's Day, the weather changing. Yeah, it's definitely ugly
Look.
people season.
I've been ugly before, man. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I've been taking advantage of myself. Nobody told me it was a season for this thing. This is the season. The wolves are out.
Look,
You know what I'm saying?
Season, but you trying to use your powers for bad. That's the problem. You knew it was
No,
first
I've been the victim.
You wasn't a victim. You knew what you was doing. You knew you've been ugly for 8 months out the year. Now these 4 months.
I feel you. Nah, man, look, we having a lot of fun, but we gave y'all some really important content. And if you have family members that you feel this situation for, Lord knows you can't make a move. You can only hope the best for them. But you never know if you are not able to ignite the push for them to do something. And take the information that we've given you tonight and just protect your people, man. Love the people who love you back.
That's good.
Anything else y'all got before we get up out of here today?
Rain done came back.
No, I'm good. I think we've given some good advice, and they need to remember it's ugly people season.
Do not forget it.
Well, Jackie, we need to do our next one at the top of a lighthouse, a live episode from the top of the lighthouse.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
We're gonna see.
We'll do it at the front of the lighthouse.
Yeah, we going to the first level. That's about as far as we going.
I got you, Jackie. We gonna green screen it. You gonna look like you up there.
Well, we can do that.
Nah, man, look.
As far as I'm gonna look like I'm up there, because I will not.
I know that's right, man. Look, I appreciate you always. I appreciate you for sharing your time. Thank your husband for participating with us. We definitely gonna get him on the show.
I'm gonna book him right after this.
I know that's right. Look, everybody, y'all really, man, show people some grace and love the people who love you back. Until the next time, everybody be easy, man. We gone.